Good morning and welcome everybody to Going On Daily Live. I am Becky here with Miss JJ. Good morning.
Good morning.
We've had a little bit of a delay this morning. It's 10 after 8 my time, 10 after 10 your time, but we are here. The sound is working, and that is all that matters. Yay! Always enjoy our Thursdays together.
I know, I missed you.
Yeah,
We both were off last Thursday.
Yeah, and fun fact, I went to the liquor store.
Oh,
I found a couple of non-alcoholics. I tried one I really liked called a passion fruit no-hito.
is it no
And
alcohol? Is
it's
it
no
infused
alcohol.
with anything?
Nope, it's just no alcohol.
Oh.
The branding is really nice. It was about $4 for one can at the liquor store, so it's like you only get one. But then I was at Safeway, and they had a 4-pack for $5. So I bought them.
Deal.
And so my friends actually from my cousins from your neck of the woods
down south here.
are visiting. And so, drinks are flowing. We're enjoying time together. And I've just been drinking my mojitos. And I feel like I'm not missing out. My kid tried it and she was like, this tastes like alcohol. And I was like, it's not. It's a mojito.
So it makes you feel good.
Yeah, it's just like carbonated juice. It's like a sweet soda water, but I'm here for it because it looks like a cocktail.
No one will ever know.
No one will ever know, except that it says mojito in like massive letters, but still.
Nobody knows nobody's paying attention.
I could not believe the size of the area in the liquor store at this one particular one.
Isn't it like
how non-alcoholic?
This whole sober curious category is exploding.
It's crazy to me.
Crazy. Yeah.
It is crazy. No Tito, no good, Ron. You may want to try that ketchup flavored Tito that JJ was talking about.
That bourbon that tasted like liquid ketchup.
That sounds so disgusting.
So gross.
But then I was at the liquor store yesterday, and then I was looking at a couple different like boozy things, and they've got a lot of really cool stuff now. Like that seltzer thing just took off. It was vodka for a long time, and then they started introducing gins. Now there's tequila seltzers. Well, yesterday I saw some whiskey seltzers, which I'd never seen before. They had Appleton, they had Jameson's, they had
it's like bringing back the whole Zima category.
Yeah,
flavors.
They all looked delicious. But I mean, granted, I don't like most alcohol, but still, I would try it.
Yeah. Did you check out? Did they have the THC or the hemp infused in that?
I'm going to go to a weed store. Maybe I'll bring my cousins.
Is that where it is? So that would be in the weed store?
It would have to be at the weed store, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I'll bring my cousins in there and they can see what it's like to have legal weed. Not that that's much of a selling feature. Like it doesn't appeal to me. It's been legal here for almost 10 years. It doesn't really make a difference to me. But maybe I'll bring them in just to say that we went.
Right. That's right. Tell them to bring back some gummies.
If they can do that. I know my cousin left, like she was worried about her vape coming across. So she put it in her checked bag, which I actually don't think you're supposed to do. So of course, like going through customs and waiting for her bag, she was like, oh my God, get me my vape. But so I don't know what you can bring across the border. I'd say try. I say risk it. Drugs, international drugs.
Yeah, they can be your vitamins. Normal. I mean, I do all gummy vitamins.
She has gummy vitamins here for her kid. Just literally put them in and make sure her kid doesn't put it in.
No one will know. No one will know.
I like your style. JJ. So risk it for the biscuit. Yes, thank you, Ron.
Risk it for the biscuit.
Right, except that they don't do it. So like, unless they were giving it to their friends, I don't know. Anyways, let me tell you.
I'm gonna bring smuggle some down for me.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, you guys, your sister went to school with this girl. Her mom is my friend. She needs, it's like a whole thing. They're like, okay, good one. Let me let everyone know where they can find us. We are on Facebook at RI Broadcasting. You can also follow us live there and support the show with stars. You can also check out our Facebook page at Going On Daily. You can find us live on Kick and, oh yes, thank you, Ron, right there. You can find us live on Kick and YouTube at Rhode Island Broadcasting. Subscribe over there. And of course, you can find us live on Twitch at RI_broadcasting, where you can support the show with bits. Finally, we are on a million different social media platforms. We got MeWe, TikTok, Kick, Blue Sky, Space Hey, X, Check us out, Broadcasting RI, RI Broadcasting. Just type in Rhode Island Broadcasting. Eventually, you will find it. And of course, check out our Patreon at RI Broadcasting, where you can support the show and get yourself some merch. So
I need a coffee mug.
Yeah, coffee mug, right? I just have these water bottles. Not that I drink coffee, but like, I don't know, someone could. Soon more, gonna put us on LinkedIn. On LinkedIn. That is professional.
Whoa.
That is big boy social media. So I was in construction for a lot of years before getting sick, and I just hate LinkedIn. I just like everyone is on there just patting themselves on their backs.
Yeah.
And it's like there's people who I know personally that I worked with who hate their jobs, and they're like, "Oh well, way to go, my job for being blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, "You hate your job. You hate this company. What are you doing on here?
You hate this industry. What are you doing?
Yeah, you hate this industry." I know. Like, I feel so free having gotten out of construction, honestly. I get to sit around all day in my nightgowns with cats on it.
Oh.
No, I work from home now, so life is a little easier for sure. So we
got a good show today.
Yeah, we got a guest today.
I know.
Yes. Okay, let me introduce our guest.
You introduce him.
His name is Lou Pryor, and I had the pleasure of meeting him just very briefly backstage. He is a Rhode Island native, I believe. I believe we said he's from there originally.
A fixture of Rhode Island.
A fixture of Rhode Island. Okay, all right. And he's a good guy because he's helping people. Right? Like, we've had a couple people over, the tenure of the show that have had events where they help people, and it's like, we just need more people like you guys out there. So, excuse me, I'm a little coffee here. So he's got a couple of upcoming events happening here. He has, I don't even want to go into it too much because I don't want to steal the thunder from him. Let's just say Lou's a very good person, and he's helping people in Rhode Island. So let's bring him on, Ron. Let's chat with Lou. Hey there.
Lou.
Hi, how are you? Glad to be here.
You are like iconically Rhode Island.
Oh, all Rhode Island. All Rhode Island.
Fun fact about Rhode Island. So, like I said, I'm from Canada. Yep. My kid loves Family Guy. And so one day she was listening to the show with me. I had it. It was Ron and Kenny, I think. And she goes, "Mom, that guy sounds like Peter Griffin." And I was like, "You're right. He does sound like Peter Griffin." Ron. She thought that was pretty cool because she thought it was a made-up accent. But no, it's a real deal.
Says I sound like Rhode Island for sure.
For sure.
Friends, Rhode Island.
Love it.
It's like we couldn't have three more distinct accents. Becky with her Canadian oot and about, and my southern.
Well,
and Lou coming in with the Rhode Island.
Yeah, the Rhode Island accent. I love it. So, Lou, why don't you let everybody know who you are and what you're doing?
All right. My name's Lou Pryor. I live in Chepachet, Rhode Island, which is in the woods. I got chickens, ducks, etc. I grew up in Providence, and growing up there, I saw downtown Providence is a place I love. And this past winter, I saw on the news how people were freezing. So myself, my husband, and grandson, we started collecting clothes. And I just put on Facebook that I was needing coats and blankets, and people started sending them to me, dropping them off at my house. They were having Amazon dropping blankets, etc., down to me, and we're getting a lot. We gave out over 500 coats and 500 blankets this past winter to the homeless. And then we also started, I had my grandson, he's 12, Damien, he was making sandwiches. We started handing out sandwiches and couldn't believe the amount of people who were out there. And I'm talking in the freezing cold this winter we had. In February, it was freezing. And we're out there handing these out. And I see these seniors, these children with cracked lips, cracked cheeks. And I said, we got to keep doing this. I tear up very easy. I'm sorry. But anyways, we got going more. Like this past weekend, they like the rodeo burgers at Burger King. So I put on Facebook, could somebody help me buy 150 rodeo burgers?
Wow.
and people donated. And then I asked for some more cash because what I did this past weekend, I gave rodeo burgers. We had French fries, salad, onions, and tomatoes. And basically, people just come in line. They look at the line. People say it's bums. Well, and some are saying people take advantage of it. But I don't know how many people would stand in a line of 150 people for an hour and a half for a rodeo.
Burger. Yeah,
Right.
literally.
So it's people who are hungry, and we get to know them. It's only us three really serving on the majority of the time, and we just get to know the people. And I try to service them like this. I try to give them some flavor with food. You're talking about cooking a little. You mentioned cooking, but I like this weekend. I'm making lasagna. I'm making Italian sausage and peppers, a Rhode Island staple. And then I'm going to also have meatballs and a salad to give out to the people.
Wow.
So, and also, like, I have someone in the Harrisville area of Rhode Island, this young man, he makes like about 80 sandwiches for me to hand out every week. And then I have people bringing pastry, which we put in the bags, the sandwich bags, etc. And a lot of people help out, but we also collect clothes. And this week I put on there Better Lives Needed Clothes, which is Better Lives Rhode Island, a shelter. Well, it's a place which helps people in the inner city get jobs and feed them, etc. And I put that on Facebook, and I get bags of clothes at my door. I come home and there's bags of clothes, people dropping off clothes. It's incredible. The people's response was great. And people were coming to my house thanking me.
Wow.
Saying it was so nice to help Rhode Island at this time with the situation across the country. People not talking, people angry, but these people really cared. So we do this every week. Every day we collect clothes and keep going.
How many are you feeding with your lasagnas? How many pans are you cooking?
The large foil pans, not the lasagna small ones, the super double. I'm due 2. So it'll be like, I'm figuring like about 4 pounds of packages. Like I ended up making a meatloaf last week, 12-pound meatloaf. That was another thing I served. And so I use 2 pans like that. I do 2 pans of sausages, which comes out to about 18 pounds of sausage. And then also the peppers. I get a lot of stuff on sale. I shop around. I'll go to this Stop and Shop, and I said, oh, markdown 2 for $3. I'll grab them. And I'll just put them in the freezer till I'm ready to use them. And then we use them. And then I cook them outside on my grill, everything. Keeps us busy.
Yeah.
It's nice, but we talk to everybody in the line. I say, how you doing and what's going on.
I love this.
I met a lot of people that way.
You know what?
Sorry.
I was just going to say you're really humanizing these people who a lot of people brush off. Yeah, they need to know that they might be, having a hard time. They might have made some bad choices in life, but they're still human, and they're still worth loving.
And that's Mother's Day. This part gets me. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm already. I've got the chills. I've got the tears happening.
My grandson, I bought Simply Elegant Florist in Smithfield, donated 75 carnations to me, and we're in the line. And my grandson says, "What's that?" I says, "I want you to hand them up to the ladies."
Oh.
He says, "Why?" I says, "Just do it." Excuse me.
No, it's so beautiful.
Bad. You get older, you get bad. Anyways, he did, and then he saw the lady was so happy. She hasn't got a flower yet.
Oh.
Wow.
So wow.
You're teaching the next generation what it truly means. Yeah.
But we got to do that, and we got to help people. And the response has been incredible. Like, I get people every day. I got a hair salon. I'm going down to Burrville. She's collected 4 bags of clothes, 3 bags of pots and pans that we don't use, and those are going to go to another place called St. Mondepours in Cranston. It's a great place. They help inner city families get furniture, pots and pans, dishes, and clothes. It's crazy how I got this girl. She contacted me from a hair salon, hair studio that teaches people how to cut hairs and everything. She says, "Let me help." So now she's helping. There's having a snack sale. They're going to come down to where I am on the 28th downtown, and they're going to bring sandwiches. They're going to get all the students involved. And it's really nice to see the involvement I'm getting. I have churches helping by coming to me and asking, what do I need to hand out? It's like people say they're happy they know the stuff is going directly to the people.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes a big difference. It's, like it's not going to a corporation. I'm not making $1 on this. It's like we're helping others that need it, and you make them smile.
Friends helping friends.
Yeah, that's what it's about. And it's Rhode Island, and you see people in that line that I've seen on the streets and worked with before.
Yeah.
It happens so easily. Seniors. I asked him, a guy was in line. I said, "What happened to you?" He says, "My girl and me broke up. She kicked me out. I can't afford an apartment." So he's on the street. A couple, they came to me. They're in North Kingston. They come down to downtown to eat. And they said, "Lou, we had an apartment in Pawtucket. Rent went from like $900, $1,500, $2,200. Now they don't have an apartment. They're living in a tent in North Kingston, surviving." Seniors, it's like, I give an example. Out here in Chepachet, the red part of the town, they're not helping the people because this gentleman had a right to sell all his property. He sold his property to this group, Omni, whatever, from New York. They're making condos. All the people in their 70s got evicted. Some were disabled. Where do they go? A guy called me from Virginia, said, "My sister's one of those people. See if you can help her. See where she can go." I called up the Gloucester Town Hall. There's a 2-year waiting list.
Oh.
I called up. They said, "Try Woonsocket." I called up them. 5-year waiting list. There's no help for these people that say if you're a husband and wife, you rent an apartment, you're elderly, you're dependent on your Social Security checks. One person dies, you got one check.
That's right.
So then what do? They got no place to go.
Right.
You hear the stories. I'm a politician. I'm chair of the Gloucester Democrat Town Committee, but I don't favor either party right now because they're not helping the people.
Right.
But
affordable housing is a crisis, and it's like we're not addressing it at all.
And affordable housing isn't $2,000.
No.
These people can't afford that. They're saying, "Oh, we're going to do affordable housing." What about affordable in the sense these people get off the street?
Right.
They need shelter.
Somewhere. Yeah.
And in the winter, it's awful. I'm sorry. There's these people I see. Oh, this little lady, she comes to the line every week. She's got a blanket that looks like it's been run over by 1,000 cars. Her face, you just see her peeking out. And she says whatever she can have, and I give it to her. This week, we were getting low on food. So then there's about 15 people left in line. So I said, "I'm out of this." I says, so they know I don't want them to keep standing in line if they were waiting for a burger or anything.
Right.
So then they said, "Okay." And then the people in line before them, "Oh, just give me a little of that." So there's food, the other food's available for the next people. So they care about themselves. They care about the other ones that are homeless. So it's good. You see a lot of good people out there. You see wars and everything going on, but there's a lot of people out there to help.
I really think that most people have goodness inside of them, right, left, whatever. I do think that people are, designed to be caring and loving and care about each other. I just think we're in such a divisive time.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like a dog eat dog world. Even in Canada, it's like this right now where you don't see friends helping friends anymore. It's just everyone for themselves. And then, of course, you add a housing crisis, expenses, inflation, whatever you want to call it on top of it. And then of course people are only focused on themselves because how can I survive another day? How am I going to help somebody else when I can't even help myself? Right. And so it's really beautiful that you have this organization that is helping people and you're seeing the other people helping. And I can't even believe, like my mind is blown, like how many people are donating to you and reaching out, giving you money and dropping off clothes.
Right.
I love
it's
it.
Incredible.
For hundreds of people. Yeah.
Weekly
or daily.
You should see at the winter how many blankets and boxes I got. They came from Amazon. I didn't order them, and it was just people sending them.
Brand new.
Emergency. I got a lot of blankets. Wow. They were Rotaries out in Situate was donated gloves, hats. It's like that's what they want. I had a guy in line once. I ran out of gloves. He had socks on his hands, keep his hands warm. So it's not people that are enjoying this. A lot of people just realize, think that it's nothing. It's not a problem. It's a problem. And it's growing. Every week we see more people. Like when we started, we're doing like 60. Then 70, 80, 100. And we're not the only ones out there. There's other groups, but it's still, like today is a holiday, right? Guess what? All the shelters that normally are open to feed people are closed for the holiday. So what happens on a holiday?
You starve.
No food.
Wow.
That's the worst part,
That is messed up.
Churches, open up. Come on, churches.
Yeah, literally.
There's a couple,
open those
there's
doors.
not enough. There's not enough for the, I got the blue beard, you notice.
Yes.
They all know me by the blue beard. So that's my way to get
calling
to know.
Card. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'll go in the inner city where I had sandwiches. I pull up in my car. I get out with the sandwiches and all these people look at me like, uh-oh, who's this guy coming? And the ladies started saying something, and one of the guys said, "Oh, that's Lou, the Bluebeard guy. He gives out burgers." So they know who I am. So they all said you can trust him. So it's nice to have a rapport. I do have. That's why I talk to every one of them. Like there's Georgie, there's River. You get to know their names. They tell you who they are.
They're people.
They are people.
Yeah.
And not people. People don't realize that.
Yeah.
I did have somebody help me last week for Father's Day. This guy, his son, and the son's godfather, they all came down to help. And after they got done, they couldn't believe it. They saw the people how much they needed it, and it was incredible. Yeah, that was the other thing I made last week was rhubarb crisp.
Wow.
So nobody knew what rhubarb was.
Oh,
but some of them didn't, but then the people who did, I remember, and it brings memories back.
Yeah. It's very like childhood.
And like
everyone.
and then when I made beans, I put salt pork in it,
Yum.
And the people, salt pork, I used to put that on my bread, and that they all related to it, and it makes them feel good.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm just throwing rice and veggies at them. I'm giving them something that will help out and give people more of a hope.
Yeah, of course.
People that really care.
Yeah, sometimes like that reminiscence of or nostalgia, something that reminds them of home, reminds them of a simpler time, a different time. I don't want to say motivate them because I don't think that's the issue.
But it makes them feel
feel warm inside.
Right.
Not feel so dark on that day.
Right.
And that's
connected
I'm not.
to
They're
others.
so nice to me, like everyone thanks, and I got blessed a million times, So they are caring, and we just got to show a little response to that, and we got to get them off the streets before the winter.
Yes.
Somebody's going to help me with a coat drive coming up in the fall.
Wow.
What are your upcoming events, Lou? How can we broadcast your next events?
Basically it's not big events. I can give them to you, but it's just like I do the weekly feeding. I do have on my Facebook, Lou Pryor. I show all the things I'm doing every week. Like I show how many people I'm feeding, I let people know what I'm doing. So
and
that
do you spell out like, hey, I could really use blankets for this, or
I do that, and they respond.
So people
They
need to go
respond.
follow you on Facebook to get all the details where they can help support what you're doing.
Well, the biggest thing right now is items, toiletries, not a gallon jug of Lysol or anything, like little toiletries that the people can put in their pockets.
If you're stay at a hotel, steal all those. They're for you to use. Don't open them. Take them. I actually am. My house is a drop-off point for an organization in my town that collects all those, fills up little freezer bags, and hands them out. Especially, think of the women who don't have.
The women, they need their they need items.
Feminine products.
Oh, that's in big demand. I do have people send boxes of them to me, and I bring them to the shelter. And they go right out because people can't afford them.
Right.
They're expensive anyway.
Food stamps and all that is only for food. The government doesn't give them any aid to buy that items. And here's these ladies out there, Becky? They need them.
That is insane to me. Like that's a natural part of being a woman is that it's going to come out every month.
Right. You don't talk about that stuff here.
Well, I do.
No, it's part of life, and people don't realize that that's what they need. It's like I put in the 2 local libraries in Gloucester, one in town and one at the Hominy. I put bins, and I asked for men, women, children, underwear, and toiletries. Because, oh my God, when I had underwear one day, the women and men, they were all wanting underwear because they can't wash their stuff.
No.
Where can they wash their clothes? People say, oh, they're always asking for clothes. But after a few days, you're going to want new clothes. You can't wash them. What are you going to do?
Well, I think people forget too, like underwear is one of those things that you need to have clean because there are illnesses that come along with not having good hygiene. I mean, your pants can stink, your shirt can stink, whatever. Your underwear kind of needs to be clean.
Right.
But you want something to clean to sleep on. You want a clean blanket, the faces I've seen, it's like they're embedded in my mind. And I see them every time I go down there. And I feel bad. I'm a senior. I'm 68 years old. So when I see seniors out there, it makes me say, this would be me. Yeah. It's so easy to fall into that trap. Just like I said, one person passed, you're alone. You don't have a place. You're on the street.
Yeah.
Ron made a good point. Maybe we need the laundromat to step up. That would actually be amazing if they could sponsor
the event.
They have done that. But then people find out who use that laundromat, say, oh, their clothes is in that laundromat. I don't want to go to that laundromat.
Then dedicate a couple of
machines
to it. Like
there's some places that do that. There's one in Woonsocket. They have Serenity. And they do have laundry for the people living there. But the ones on the street, that's the ones that people just cringe on. And some of them are issues, like this lady with a wheelchair, no legs. She got so upset because I ran out of burgers. And, she really wanted something, and I just didn't have it. Like once I only had a little carrots left. The old guy there, he says, Lou, I'll take the carrots, please, just so I have something. So it's a situation that's getting worse, but
Right.
I'm fortunate to have all these people who help me out by giving donations.
Yeah.
I started a PayPal,
Oh,
friends
good.
helping, and that is Friends Helping Friends, Rhode Island. And
Right.
I got to say, that's helping out. People have been donating, and they either just send checks or just come by my house and drop stuff off. Or I pick it up like today because it's a larger donation. I'll go by. People whose family members just passed, they say, Lou, come and get all the clothes for my husband or my brother or somebody, and they donate all the clothes, and it goes right to the people.
Yeah.
And
So your PayPal is Friends Helping Friends,
Rhode Island.
Rhode
Yeah.
Island. So
Yeah.
Friends Helping Friends, PayPal. Look for that to help
Yeah.
donations. Follow Lou Pryor on Facebook for any of the updates of where he's going to be, what things, what items that he's seeing that these
That's
people
great.
need. So support. And you know what? Use also, if you're not in Rhode Island, but you're inspired by Lou's story, you can do the same thing in your own community.
Yeah, I had a lady come way from Massachusetts to my house, 2-hour drive, to bring some clothes she had.
That's fantastic.
So for people to do that, they do care.
Right.
And,
They do. They do.
And my Facebook's grown incredibly. Like I get 5 to 6 people asking to be on my Facebook a day.
I'm one of them. I just requested it.
I know. I was like, I'm going on. We're going on.
We're friends.
Okay, you can see my reel and you can see the stuff that we do, and it's great. It's really helpful. And thank you.
Thank you for what you do.
On.
And thank you for raising your grandson to have a heart for this, because I mean, I've got teenagers, JJ's got teenagers, like sometimes it's hard to get them out of their own worlds. So I love that you're doing this. I love that you've raised him this way.
I did it with my other 2 girls, two granddaughters, and one of them, we did the hamburgers. They thought, first they were a little scared handing out hamburgers to strangers.
Yeah.
But then my granddaughter surprised me. She works in some chain restaurant, and she took a paycheck and bought all meals and handed them out to the women's shelter in Providence. So
you're raising them right.
You are.
They're good.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Lou, for coming
on
and telling us your story, and we're following you, and I hope others
follow me on Facebook.
Too.
Tell me people to join up, and it would be great. Thank you.
Right.
Thanks, Lou.
Thanks, Lou.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hey.
When he gets us.
Well, yeah, Ron's doing his thing here. Gonna have to change some graphics here. There we go. Wow. Like, how do we even follow up that?
I know.
How do we talk about celebrity drama after that? It's like, it doesn't even matter.
It doesn't even matter when, good people are out there suffering. Yeah. But then you've got good people like Lou that's stepping in to the opportunity to show grace and love and what humanity means.
Right. Even if there was like 10 people in a town who were like Lou, you would have insane, because like realistically, like everyone is struggling a little bit right now. Times are tough for everyone. And yet we're all still eating with a roof over our heads. Like, I know that we waste a lot of food. There's no reason why we can't be giving back to the community. So Lou, you're amazing. What you and your husband, your grandson, everyone that you were connected with are so amazing. And, where is it? Where in Rhode Island? Providence? Providence is lucky to have you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Now we get to talk about some celebrity.
Right. Okay.
Another heartbreaking story. Do you know who Eric Dane is?
Yeah.
He was Dr. McSteamy from
the hot doctor from
Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah. What is going on with him? I saw your thing saying his health, and I was like, I can't handle any more heartbreak today.
I know. Well, he just, he's also, on Euphoria, and then he's on a new show. Yeah. And he's on a new show that's premiering, I think this week on Amazon. But it's called Countdown, where he, and Countdown has another one of my favorite actors, Jensen Ackles. So kiss out to Mr. Ackles. But
he's from Supernatural or something, right, Jensen?
Yeah. But no, Eric was just came out. He was like a month or so ago diagnosed with ALS.
Oh, that is an awful
which is
one.
the Lou Gehrig's disease. And he did a really heartwarming interview with Diane Sawyer where he really revealed, he was diagnosed, I think like a month ago. And he said, about a month or two prior, he was like, I just felt tingling in my right hand. And so he's like, I went to a hand specialist. They sent me to another hand specialist who then sent him to somebody that's like, this is above my pay grade or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it turns out he was diagnosed. And in the interview, so just in like a month or two since he was diagnosed, he said he has no feeling. He can't move his or his like heart. And
so it's going fast.
It's going fast. And he said, from the average from when someone gets diagnosed with ALS, the average lifespan is less than 2 years. It happens really rapidly. He said that he's already starting to feel the other side of the tingling, the same thing in his hand. And he said that the biggest fear was he went to the beach, he jumped out of a, boat to go swimming, and he literally couldn't swim. And his daughter had to jump in and come and put him and rescue him. He was like, so he's already sensing the ability, because when it happened so fast he's like, I know my next, I'm going to start losing the feeling of my legs. And then, it shuts down your lungs, and it's just an excruciating.
And then you're stuck in your brain too. That's the thing. Right. You're so paralyzed inside of your.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. With your head. I remember I worked with a lady whose husband had died from it. And she said it was awful to know that he had stuff going on still, but couldn't express it, couldn't move, she said it was the most heartbreaking thing to watch. He's not even old, this guy.
No, he's like my age.
Born in 1972.
My age, yeah.
So he's early 50s. Like, what is going on?
I know. It's so, I will say because he and his wife, which was Rebecca Gayhart, they were getting ready to go through a divorce. As he said that she was the first one, I think, that he called. They kind of called, and she was like, look, I'm not doing that to our family. No. And Eric had already started dating somebody, but it's like they are all kind of coming together to wrap around him as a support system with his girls. Wow. So, the countdown, like his cast, they've been doing the pressers all this week, and they're rallying around him, because I'm like, he's going to try to work as much as he can.
Wow.
For also to keep just the situation.
And as someone who's had like a life-threatening illness, like sometimes you just want to feel like a normal person. Right. You don't want people to be like, oh my God, I feel so bad for you when you're dying, whatever.
And just to be like somewhat active, right? So yeah, that was heartbreaking, because I'm like, oh, he's so sweet and he's so good looking. And then but his interview, if anybody hasn't seen it, go and watch it. It's a wonderful, wonderful where he just like tells it all, and it's a good interview.
I'll have to do that.
So encourage everyone to check that out. But we'll be thinking about him.
Totally. I'm not a Grey's Anatomy fan, but I definitely know who he is, through like pop culture, and that's sad.
And go support Countdown on Amazon.
Yeah, I'm gonna go watch it. I need a new show.
Yeah, it's a cop kind of.
Perfect.
The team is undercover agents are there to save LA.
I love this. I'm gonna start watching it on Amazon Prime.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna watch it.
All right.
Oh, well, we wish him absolute health. Like, I know there's no cure, but like maybe there will be. There will be.
I know. And then you've got some positive. Our next story is even worse.
So Ron has just mentioned that today's a sad show. Hold on, I'm trying to adjust my camera here.
I loved her. I cannot believe.
Love Ambrell. I'm a huge Food Network junkie. Huge. And when I went through chemo and I couldn't get off the couch, I watched Worst Cooks of America, all 10 seasons. I loved it. And I just last month watched Tournament of Knives, which she was like one of the finalists on. I love her. I loved.
Well, I remember when she was on. Who was it's the Italian chef that wears the orange Crocs when he started.
Oh yeah, Mario Batali.
Mario Batali. She was his sous chef. That's kind of
right.
How
on Iron Chef. Yes.
That was my first introduction.
I forgot about that.
And and it's just going because I remember her being when he was doing the competitions. That was his sous chef, and then she also worked with Chef Simon.
Yes.
And then she also did, what's her name? Marie. I can never pronounce her last name because it's a huge Italian name like Guaccio.
Alex Gornicelli.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, actually, I follow Alex Gornicelli on socials, and she made a really sweet post about her yesterday. She was like, Anne was one of a kind and had a picture of Anne at her wedding, dancing, being silly. Like, the thing about Anne Burrell is like,
her energy.
Like there's something about being on TV that turns everyone into like a carbon copy of each other. And yet here's Anne Burrell with her like ridiculous hair, wearing like her weird skirts with her Crocs, with her chef's coat, being
but I loved it.
Iconically herself. Right. Yeah. Now it says that, she was 55, Ron. It says that she was just found unresponsive or found already dead in her apartment in Brooklyn.
Yeah, her husband made a statement and said, she was getting up early. He was like, we went to bed around 1. And then she was getting up early, got in the shower at 6. And then he was hearing the shower still running around, several, way longer than a shower should take. And he said that he found her unresponsive in the shower, called 911, and they said, try CPR. And he was like, she's unresponsive. But when the ambulance arrived, they pronounced her dead, So they're suspecting she either, had a heart attack likely, or an aneurysm.
Yeah.
And and they have to do an when it's a situation like that, they have to.
And she's a celebrity, and so I feel like they would anyway because the people need to know.
Right. My neighbor, so it just reminded me. So my neighbor, they were a little bit older, but they were in their early 60s. This was just like a few years ago. Well, about 10 years ago. It was the same. Like we saw the coroner pull up. We started seeing like ambulances and stuff, and we went out and we're like, what is happening? And my neighbor, she died in the bathtub. That she was taking a bath into the day, and we went to go check on her she's been in the bathtub for way too long, and she was unresponsive. And it's the same thing, like you've got to rule out anything. So even non-celebrities, if that happens, they come in and do an autopsy.
Well,
but they treated it like it was really weird of who came and showed up because they have to rule out that it wasn't a
homicide.
Yeah. But yeah, just devastating. Yeah,
it is devastating, and I just feel like there's something about the Food Network that's like so fun and joyful, and everyone doesn't they don't take themselves too seriously or whatever. But I found like she was so joyful.
And I, you look at, like you said, Alex did a post. I think Chef Simon did a post.
Oh, I'm sure they all did.
When it's like that whole group. That kind of started Bobby Flay, they all kind of worked together as
totally
this small group that really made what Food Network is.
Yes, 100%.
Even though they're not really on anymore, it's that circle
exactly
that were kind of the legacy. And I love how they've kind of rallied around
exactly
her. It's a little bittersweet, but yeah.
It says Bobby Flay made a statement saying Worst Cooks in America was the funnest show on TV. All of your co-hosts, me included, because he was on a couple seasons, were just alongside for the Anne Burrell ride. The greatest gift I got from Anne was turning me onto a world of Maine Coon cats, including Nacho. I guess he's got a cat named that. A gift that I'll have forever. So sweet.
I love it.
Yeah, she just seemed like an absolute bright star. Like even when she was like being mean on Worst Cooks in America, she was still like so loving. You know, and she was funny. She was super funny.
Oh, but I loved her hair. I mean, I loved
it was wild.
Look,
take a look.
about
I'm close here. I'm close. So
yeah. So you need to do the hot blonde and spike.
Well,
do it.
Before I lost my hair, this is the color I kept my hair for 10 years. And so, you know, as soon as my hair started growing back in, I bleached it and it grew in so much darker that it doesn't want to bleach anymore. But I'm like, I could do this. My hair is this length. I could bleach it out. I could be Amber
I want
for
to see
Halloween.
it next week.
I don't know about next week, but like for Halloween, maybe I could do this.
There you go. Well, yeah. Time for our other two, but I'll do just. We love you, R.I.P. Anne. We're thinking of you.
Totally.
But so my next story, it is so crazy. It's like out of a movie.
Yeah, I can't wait.
So this is an actual jewelry heist. The 7 guys were just indicted for the biggest jewelry heist in U.S. history. $100 million worth of Rolexes, rubies, diamonds. And this heist took place in like 2022. So it's been this like several year investigation. Wow. 7 of the guys have been indicted and charged. So of course, then they've got to start with the trial. 4 suspects are still at large. They haven't tracked them down.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, because so they've got their jewel money and they're on a beach somewhere.
What is this, Ocean's 11? Jewelry
house? I was going to say, this is right out of a Hollywood movie.
Out of a movie. So apparently there was a huge international jewelry show in Southern California. I think it was like San Mateo, California.
Okay.
Huge international jewelry show. So like, when you ship all your jewelry, it was packaged up in a Brinks, like.
Oh, wow. Like armored truck?
Armored truck to get it back to, 300 miles back to where it came. And apparently these, what is it, 7 plus, these 11 guys all followed this Brinks truck to every rest stop until they got to one in a small town. They cased it and robbed the Brinks armored truck. And
that is straight out of Oceans.
Right.
That is bizarre.
$100 million worth of jewels and Rolexes.
So do you think it was an inside job? Like they obviously knew if they knew what to follow.
They knew the path. And
it's
it
inside.
Was so either they followed them to the jewelry show so they knew the path that they would take back to go home. Mm-hmm. Or who knows? So it'll be interesting to follow. So they've just 7 were just indicted. The trial will start.
Wow.
So yeah.
That's exciting.
Ocean's 11, the heist 11.
Well, they've had Ocean's 11, 12, 13. This is Ocean's
for
14.
These guys. They don't have a name yet. We should coin one.
Oh, right. Like that's the best part of being a criminal in America is that you get coined something catchy.
I know.
Obviously.
Not yet. So we'll have to make one for them.
Right. How many guys were involved? You said 4 still
11.
large, and then
so 7.
Oh, it is like it's literally Ocean's 11.
Literally 11. Yeah.
Jeez, that's crazy. That's a wild story.
That is. I thought you'd enjoy that.
I do. I love crime.
But the other thing I thought was interesting that it's the biggest jewelry, like the biggest heist in the U.S. history. At 100 million, I thought, there would have been a bigger earlier in
100 million is nothing to sniff at, though.
Right,
so that's pretty significant.
More than the toilet, the golden toilet that
the golden toilet
from the castle.
That's right. That's right. Gross. At least these are functional, not full of excrement.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly.
Wow.
So yeah.
Okay, great story. Okay, let's head to our very last story here. We're kind of rushing through, but that's okay. This one is another interesting one. Let me try and
I haven't heard any of this, so I am excited to hear about this scandal.
I was a huge Tyler Perry fan around 2013. A friend of mine was like, "Have you watched the Medea movies?" And I'm like, "Do I look like I've watched the Medea movies?" Like,
and you're like, Now
And she's
I'm
like,
a
no,
fan.
no, just trust me. She's like, you have to watch it. Well, they were so good.
They're
Tyler
so
Perry is a
funny.
fantastic actor. And I mean, the cross-dressing thing's a little funny, but like he plays this old lady, Medea, who
Right.
is a badass biatch, okay? And she like will whoop anybody, and she's funny. And so I've always really liked Tyler Perry. I don't follow anything that he does these days. But yeah, I've always just really liked this guy. So I saw this on the news 2 days ago. It says that an actor and a screenwriter named Derek Dixon has come out suing Tyler for 260 million plus. So it's like it could go more. Like 260 would be okay, but like also I could go higher than that. He's alleging that Tyler Perry leveraged his industry power to repeatedly sexually assault and harass him whilst also keeping him quiet at the same time. So this Derek Dixon fellow played Dale on a Tyler Perry show called The Oval for 85 episodes. And he's claiming that Tyler Perry subjected him to escalating sexual harassment, assault and battery, and professional retaliation when Mr. Dixon did not reciprocate Mr. Perry's unwanted advances. Now, I just have to say, do I believe that a good chunk of Hollywood is involved in gross crimes? Yes, 100%. Right. That's the conspiracy in us here.
Right.
Do I think that Tyler Perry is just the next one they're throwing to the wolves? Yes, 100%. Right. Especially like when all the other celebrities rally around and they're like, oh, Tyler Perry was always a piece of garbage. Like, you're all a bunch of pieces of garbage, probably. So it says that this lawsuit was filed in Los Angeles in their Superior Court on June 13th. So this just happened a couple days ago. And of course, it's alleging that Tyler Perry took his success and power and used his considerable influence, the entertainment industry, to create a coercive, sexually exploitative dynamic with Mr. Dixon, initially promising career advancement and creative opportunities, such as producing his pilot and casting him in his show. This is very Harvey Weinstein.
Yes.
But like, it kind of makes sense when you hear about like Diddy and Harvey Weinstein and all these other guys in power. It's like, they're wielding that power and being like, oh, I promise you the career of your, that you've always wanted. And it's like, okay. So anyways, Tyler Perry's lawyers are saying that these are absolutely false. It says this is an individual who just got too close to Tyler Perry for what now appears to be nothing more than setting up a scam. But Tyler will not be shaken down, and we are confident these fabricated claims of harassment will fail. So we'll see how it goes. Even if it is fake, let's say this Derek Dixon made it all up.
Right.
This is a smear campaign, and like, how do you come back from it? It's very rare that you come back from it.
Right, unless he countersues, and this guy has no money.
Yeah, like, I don't know what he was getting paid on the Oval, but probably not Tyler Perry money, because this guy is like filthy rich.
Right.
And that's just it. Like, how are you going to fight him in court? You're not going to. You're going to lose. You're going to have to settle at best.
Right.
And so if you aim your sights high, $260 million, like if you left with $50 million, I mean, you can just take that money and disappear. You don't need to be an actor ever again. Just get out of here.
Right.
So this is saying, that Tyler Perry first noticed this Derek Dixon in 2019. He was part of this event that staff, a party that Tyler Perry was throwing. He was like, hey, man, do you want an audition? So Dixon then appeared in this small role on a Tyler Perry show called Ruthless before getting that larger role on the political drama The Oval. It says that Tyler Perry students started sending unwanted sexts to Dixon, according to this lawsuit, which included screenshots of several conversations between the two. Here's the thing, you've got screenshots. I mean, there's got to be a way to vet if that's actual information, right? One of the messages from Tyler Perry says, what's it going to take for you to have guiltless sex? One of the messages read. So I don't I wonder,
and are they taken out of context or...
Right, because I've had some conversations that like just led to the other, and it was like, oh, I probably should have put a stop to that before I got too far. My bad. It's like, did this Derek guy want it? Was he like using him to advance his career? Was he actually just a pawn, and Tyler Perry did wield his celebrity?
I feel like we would have heard about it prior to this?
Well, maybe, because then it's like, are other people going to come forward? Because I'm sure, like, at 55 years old, he didn't just do this for the first time ever.
Exactly. If this is something he's done, I think we would have, or there had been, like Diddy, there were whispers about that for 3 decades.
Literally years.
Songs have been written about him. 50 Cent has been outward, like, calling him out for decades.
And isn't it interesting that 50 Cent had this like huge high in like the early 2000s and then just like dropped into obscurity?
Right.
Yes, this is what happens when you speak out against power players.
Right.
Yeah, it says in one instance, Tyler Perry allegedly invited Derek Dixon to his home in Atlanta in 2020. The two had a few drinks and Dixon spent the night in the guest room. Now, Derek Dixon is alleging in the lawsuit that during the night, Tyler Perry crawled into bed with him. That would be terrifying. Waking up with somebody in your bed. Right. Oh my gosh. He was rubbing Dixon's body around his inner thigh and highly sexual in a suggestive manner. Dixon claims that he jumped out of the bed and told Perry that he wasn't that sexual. Now, I wonder if Dixon, which way he leans here, because I feel like if, let's say, again, I don't know their sexualities, whatever, but I just feel like if you're not into other men, you probably make it pretty clear. I've met some very straight men in my day, and like there ain't no way that they're even giving off that signal. I don't know. But again, drinks are flowing. It's Hollywood. Well, Atlanta, but Hollywood.
Yeah.
So anyways, I'll leave it at that. We'll see what happens, I guess.
We'll have to follow. I'm going to have to look it up. I'm going to have to go explore some more.
Yeah. Either way, you got one guy who's a predator or you got one guy who's a liar.
Yeah.
Both ways. It's sort of a lose-lose. So nasty. Yeah, nasty.
Thank you for that update.
Yeah, hopefully we have something more in the next, coming show.
I know.
Well, hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully not. Like, I hope it just disappears, but okay. Well, that's our show for today.
That's our show. It was a good show.
Thank you so much, Lou Pryor, again, for all that you do, being a beautiful human being. Friends Helping Friends, Rhode Island. Check us out. What day is it? Thursday. Check us out on Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Mountain Time with Lana and Ira. And of course, check us out on all our socials. And you'll be back next Thursday, probably. And I'll be back one of these days. And who knows? I will leave you with this day in history. 1865. Union soldiers arrived in Galveston, Texas, announcing that the Civil War is over and slavery is abolished. So this is why today is Juneteenth.
Happy Juneteenth. Yay. Yes.
I don't know much about it because I'm a Canadian and obviously I know nothing, but I see it on my calendar that today is Juneteenth. So
that's right.
All right, everybody. Check us out on Saturday. We'll see you again.